In some towns, you just rent an apartment. But in others, you lose sleep over a glance from the neighbor's yard. When I moved to this small town, I was looking for peace and quiet. After a breakup and moving out of the big city, all I wanted was some tranquility. I wasn't looking for any drama, especially not a romance. My place was on a cozy street. Everyone here seemed way too tight, like they'd known each other since kindergarten. I was the new guy, and you could feel it in every look I got at the grocery store. Every, "Hey there, where are you from?" From the locals. I didn't know a single name when I saw her. It was a hot evening. The sun was setting slowly, casting long shadows across the yards. I heard the spray of water, laughter, and without thinking, I peeked over the fence. And there she was. A girl, maybe 22, was standing with a garden hose in her hands. Long chestnut hair fell over her shoulder. Her top was tight, and her shorts showed off her tan legs. She was trying to fix something, probably the nozzle, because water was spraying out every which way.
Hi.
She noticed me and smiled.
You must be new around here, right?
Yeah, just moved in, I replied, trying not to look too interested.
Could you give me a hand? I can't figure out what's wrong with this faucet thing.
I walked over. She took a step back, and I caught a whiff of her hair. Something fruity, summery. We both leaned over the hose, and our shoulders barely touched. She didn't move away.
Thanks.
She said softly when the water finally flowed evenly. Anytime, I replied, but my voice was a little shaky. I'd probably been looking at her longer than I should have. Her name was Mia. She'd lived here her whole life, knew every family on the street. She had a boyfriend, who she said things were complicated with. She just seemed friendly, nice, easy to talk to, but there was something deeper in her eyes. When she looked at you, she really saw you. A week went by. We started crossing paths more often. I'd be watering my flowers. She'd walk by and wave. I'd be taking out the trash. She'd stop to say something. The glances lasted longer. The jokes got a little bolder. The closeness was becoming more noticeable. I kept telling myself, it's just neighborly. Don't read into it. But then she touched my arm when she laughed at some dumb thing I said, and I didn't want to stop that spark anymore. One evening, she just showed up at my door.
You got any coffee?
She asked.
My boyfriend threw a fit. I just needed to get out of there.
I made tea. We sat on my porch. Her legs were tucked under her, and she was swirling the mug in her hands.
You're different,
she said.
I don't have to pretend with you.
Do you have to with him? She was silent, and that silence said more than any words could. After that night, I couldn't sleep. Her smile was in my head. Her voice, the way she looked at me, questioning. I knew this was dangerous. She wasn't free, and I didn't want to be the reason for anyone's pain. But the heart doesn't listen to logic. The accidental touches became longer. The glances, deeper. One evening, I helped her carry in groceries. We were standing in the hallway. She looked at me, and this time, she didn't look away. I touched her cheek. She didn't pull back. Her breathing changed, but I stopped. I shouldn't, I whispered.
You think I don't want you to?
She replied. I know you're not ready yet.
And what about you?
I'm afraid of hurting someone. Anyone. You. Me. And that's when the hardest part began. The waiting. The unspoken words. A fire that couldn't be extinguished but couldn't be fully lit either. Mia started disappearing. Maybe she was trying to create some distance. Maybe she was trying to work things out again. And me, I just waited. Not because I was weak, but because I didn't want to lose her completely. The climax came during a storm. Lightning lit up the sky. Rain poured down. And suddenly a knock on the door. Mia. She stood there, soaking wet, trembling. Without a word. I just pulled her to me. She fell into my arms and whispered.
I told him I couldn't do it anymore.
And what did he say?
He didn't say anything. And I left.
We stood there, silent. And then, lips met lips. It wasn't just a kiss. It was a surrender. A giving in. A recognition. We didn't become a couple instantly. But we were already more than neighbors. We started over, but honestly. Without secrets. Without fear. And now, when I hear the sound of a hose, I don't think about the faucet. I think about the day I saw her for the first time, in short shorts, with a confused look on her face, and how something so big can grow from such a small moment.